The Whaley House in San Diego is known as one of the most haunted houses in America. The house has a dark and tragic history that has led to a multitude of ghost sightings and unexplained phenomena. The Whaley family originally built the house in 1857. It was one of the grandest houses in San Diego at the time, and was even used as the town's courthouse for a time. The family was well respected in the community, but they had their fair share of troubles. The Whaley family lost their son, Thomas, to suicide in the house in 1858. He had been struggling with depression and was found dead in the house's back room. This tragic event was just the beginning of the family's misfortunes. In 1871, the family's daughter Violet married a man named George T. Bertolacci. The marriage was a disaster, and Violet eventually divorced Bertolacci. However, he continued to harass her and her family. In 1885, Bertolacci came to the house and threatened the family. They called the police, and Bertolacci was arrested. However, he was released on bail and returned to the house the following night. He shot and killed Violet on the front porch before fleeing the scene. The Whaley family tried to move on from these tragedies, but the house seemed to be cursed. Visitors to the house reported strange occurrences, such as doors opening and closing on their own, footsteps and whispers, and even the apparition of Thomas Whaley himself. One of the most famous ghost sightings in the house is that of Yankee Jim Robinson. Robinson was a notorious thief who was executed on the property before the house was built. Visitors have reported seeing his ghost in the courtroom, where he was tried and convicted. The Whaley House has been the subject of many paranormal investigations over the years, and many experts in the field believe that it is one of the most haunted houses in America. One story that has been passed down through the years is that of a psychic who visited the house in the 1960s. The psychic claimed to feel the presence of several spirits in the house, including Thomas Whaley, Violet Whaley, and Yankee Jim Robinson. The psychic also claimed that the house was built on a portal to the afterlife, which allowed spirits to easily pass through to the physical world. Another eerie story involves a group of college students who visited the house in the 1980s. One of the students claimed to see the apparition of Violet Whaley sitting in a rocking chair in the living room. The student was so frightened that he ran out of the house and refused to go back inside. Despite its dark history and the numerous ghost sightings, the Whaley House has become a popular tourist attraction in San Diego. Visitors can take guided tours of the house and learn about its history and the paranormal activity that has been reported there. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, there is no denying the eerie feeling that permeates the Whaley House. On the history of the Whaley family. The Whaley family was one of the most prominent families in San Diego in the 19th century. The patriarch, Thomas Whaley, was a successful businessman who had made his fortune in the California gold rush. He was born in New York in 1823 and moved to California in 1849. He met and married his wife, Anna, in San Francisco, and the couple moved to San Diego in 1851. Thomas Whaley quickly became involved in the community and was a prominent figure in the town's development. He built the Whaley House in 1857, which was one of the grandest houses in the area. The house was used for a variety of purposes, including a general store, a granary, and even the town's courthouse. Thomas and Anna had 6 children, 5 of whom survived to adulthood. Their son, Francis, became a lawyer and served as San Diego's mayor. Their daughter, Corinne, became an opera singer and performed throughout the United States and Europe. Another son, George, became a successful businessman and politician. Despite their success, the Whaley family faced their fair share of tragedies. Their son, Thomas Jr., suffered from depression and took his own life in the house in 1858. The family was devastated by his death, and it is said that the event marked the beginning of the house's haunting. In addition to Thomas Jr.'s suicide, the family was also impacted by the tragic death of their daughter, Violet. She married a man named George T. Bertolacci, but the marriage was a disaster. Violet eventually divorced Bertolacci, but he continued to harass her and her family. In 1885, Bertolacchi came to the house and threatened the family. They called the police, but he was released on bail and returned to the house the following night. He shot and killed Violet on the front porch before fleeing the scene. Despite these tragedies, the Whaley family continued to live in the house until 1928. The house was then sold to a variety of owners and was even used as a tourist attraction at one point. However, the house's haunted reputation continued to grow, and it was eventually turned into a museum in 1960. Today, the Whaley House is one of the most popular tourist attractions in San Diego, drawing visitors from around the world who are intrigued by its history and haunted reputation. The house's tragic past has left an indelible mark on the city's history and has cemented the Whaley family's place in San Diego lore. On the paranormal activity reported in the Whaley House. The Whaley House is known as one of the most haunted houses in America, and visitors to the house have reported a variety of paranormal activity over the years. One of the most common sightings is that of Thomas Whaley himself. Visitors have reported seeing his ghost in the courtroom, where he once presided as a judge, as well as in other areas of the house. Some have described him as a full-bodied apparition, while others have only seen a misty figure or felt a presence. In addition to Thomas Whaley, visitors have reported seeing the ghost of his daughter, Violet, who was murdered on the front porch of the house in 1885. Her ghost is said to appear on the porch, and some visitors have even reported feeling a cold spot or a presence near the spot where she was killed. Another well-known ghost at the Whaley House is that of Yankee Jim Robinson, a notorious thief who was executed on the property before the house was built. Visitors have reported seeing his ghost in the courtroom, where he was tried and convicted. Some have even claimed to have heard his ghost whispering in their ear. In addition to these specific ghost sightings, visitors to the house have reported a variety of other paranormal activity. Doors have been known to open and close on their own, and footsteps and whispers have been heard throughout the house. Some visitors have even reported feeling a hand on their shoulder or a presence in the room with them. One of the most famous stories about the Whaley House involves a psychic who visited the house in the 1960s. The psychic claimed to feel the presence of several spirits in the house, including Thomas Whaley, Violet Whaley, and Yankee Jim Robinson. The psychic also claimed that the house was built on a portal to the afterlife, which allowed spirits to easily pass through to the physical world. Despite the many reports of paranormal activity at the Whaley House, some skeptics have questioned the validity of these claims. However, many experts in the field of paranormal research believe that the house is indeed haunted and have conducted investigations there. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, there is no denying the eerie feeling that permeates the Whaley House, making it a must-visit destination for anyone interested in the supernatural.